Imagine running the most powerful empire in the world while writing in your journal, "You are just bones and breath, a little soul carrying a corpse." That was Marcus Aurelius. He had absolute authority. Legions obeyed him. His signature meant life or death. And yet, in private, he reminded himself not to become addicted to praise, power, or control. In a world where leadership so often becomes performance, Marcus practiced something different: Stoic leadership. Power without ego. Influence without vanity. Command without corruption. And today, for founders, CEOs, and creators, building something in a world addicted to status, this lesson might be more urgent than ever. Leadership looks glamorous from the outside until you wear the crown. Marcus didn't ask for the throne. He was chosen, trained, elevated, and then thrust into years of war, betrayal, plague, and political chaos. Through it all, he kept writing, not to impress others, but to anchor himself. That's what separates him from most modern leaders. He didn't see leadership as a pedestal, but as a burden, a duty, a chance to serve. The Roman emperor had more power than any modern CEO. Yet he warned himself against becoming prideful, lazy, entitled, or cruel. He fought not just external battles, but internal ones, with his ego, his temper, his desire for comfort. This is where Stoic leadership begins, with self-awareness. If your startup is growing, but your ego is growing faster, you're not leading, you're spiraling. Marcus wrote during plague years. Whole cities were dying, soldiers mutinied, barbarians attacked, friends betrayed him. Yet his tone in Meditations remains calm, focused, measured. He wasn't numb, he was trained. This is what the Stoics practiced, responding to chaos with clarity, observing stress without being hijacked by it. Modern founders face different battles: financial pressure, team turnover, competitive attacks, boardroom politics. But the Stoic mindset is timeless. You don't react in panic. You pause, you judge, you act with principle. Marcus taught that if something is beyond your control, then it's irrelevant to your peace. And if it's within your control, then respond with excellence, not emotion. Leadership isn't about suppressing stress. It's about refining your relationship to it. In today's startup world, we idolize the visionary genius, the bold disruptor who rewrites the rules. But Marcus Aurelius would have warned us. He saw that praise is a drug, that being worshipped is dangerous, that once you believe you're the exception, you stop learning, you stop listening. So he reminded himself constantly that he was mortal, flawed, impermanent. He called himself a little soul carrying a corpse. Not because he hated himself, but because he didn't want to be fooled. This humility didn't weaken his authority, it sharpened it. His generals respected him more because he led without arrogance. His soldiers followed him because he served alongside them. Today, companies like Patagonia or Basecamp model a version of this. Their founders prioritize purpose over prestige. They lead quietly, with clarity, not noise. Humility in Stoicism isn't a branding tactic. It's armor against your worst instincts. Marcus was ambitious, but not for fame or applause. He was ambitious about living a good life, about becoming just, wise, disciplined, and courageous, even when it was hard. He didn't deny ambition, he redirected it. And that's the core of Stoic leadership. You don't eliminate the drive to grow or build, you just refuse to let it own you. You ask yourself, who am I becoming as I build this company? What values shape this culture? Will I be proud of this 10 years from now, or ashamed? Compare that to leaders who chased scale at any cost. Think of Uber in its early years, or WeWork, where ambition turned into delusion. The Stoic leader isn't smaller in vision, they're just deeper in intention. They play the long game, the one that outlives hype cycles. Most people treat power as the prize, the end goal. But Marcus saw it differently. He wrote that power is simply another test to see what kind of person you really are. When you're nobody, it's easy to seem humble. When you're rich, admired, and followed, that's when your character is revealed. The Stoic leader doesn't reject power. They use it carefully. They remember that every decision affects lives, that every word echoes, that leadership is not self-expression, it's stewardship. You don't build a company to inflate yourself. You build it to serve something beyond you. And you don't lead to be adored. You lead to do what's right, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire, but he ruled himself first. That's the Stoic model of leadership. Not dominance, but discipline. Not performance, but presence. Not ego, but integrity. You don't need to wear a laurel crown to lead this way. Whether you're a founder, a team lead, or just someone trying to build something without becoming someone you hate, Marcus is your guide. Lead with purpose, build with restraint, speak with clarity, and above all, stay humble enough to listen to your own soul. Because in the end, real leadership isn't about being in charge, it's about being in command of yourself.